there are only two ways to earn money: people at work or money at work. Yeah, this chapter really had me thinking about how I can diversify my income. There are three distinct categories that people fall into financially. One is the deficit position, so people in debt. Two is the break-even position, so people that are just getting by but they are debt-free. And then there's a surplus position. Born Born Rich by Bob Proctor. This is the book that I'm currently reading, and I made a video on the first chapter that is titled Me and Money. Yeah, and in this video I'm gonna go through chapter 2. So I'm currently reading this book with a friend, and we're doing one chapter a week, and I'm currently on chapter 9. So it was a while since I read chapter 2, but what I've been doing every chapter is that, well, I read the same chapter every single day, and then I also write notes. Sometimes I just kind of copy any things that pop out, because that's how I learn. I learn by writing, and I learn by repeating, talking about what it is I'm supposed to be learning. And Bob Proctor is a proponent of repetition. So he read the book Think and Grow Rich every single day for, I don't know how many years, a lot of years, like 50 years or something. And he talks about this a lot. And this book is available online for free. I can put the link in the description, so all you have to do, I'm not the one that's distributing the book. It's the Proctor Gallagher Institute, I think it's called. So this book is by Bob Proctor. He's no longer alive, but you may have heard of him. He was in The Secret. I really enjoyed making the video on chapter 1. I really did enjoy it, and I've been enjoying this book. I've been enjoying reading this book in this way. I've actually never read a book, in my free time this way. And this is how I used to study for school. You would repeat the same piece of writing, read it over and over again until you get it. You see, when you repeat the same book or the same chapter over and over again, like the second time you read it, it's going to speak to you in a new way, because, well, you'll have learned something from the first time that you read it. And by repeating things, just kind of get to know the material more, you end up also evolving. And sometimes I'll repeat certain podcast episodes. I'll let it go a couple of months in between. And then when I listen to it again, I'll be like, wow, I get it now, like on a much deeper level. And, well, I'm only reading each chapter once in a very limited time period. But I do feel that it's been very helpful to stick with a book over a longer period of time. I'm reading several books at once, but I read this book every morning. So let's get into chapter 2. Chapter 2, I remember it was quite a practical chapter. So there are some exercises, and when you read self-help books, you don't always do the exercises, although it usually says that you should do the exercises before you continue on with a book. So I'm actually really making it a priority this time to actually do the exercises. This chapter is called How Much is Enough, and it's all about defining the amount of money that you want to attract, manifest, have in your life in order to do the things that you want to do in your life. So how much money do you need in order to live in your desired reality? I've got some notes here on my computer, so I might be looking down here. So I have written, be specific. Exactly how much money do I want? So I've started by writing, be specific. Exactly how much money do I want? The subconscious mind does not think. It merely accepts images and then moves them into form. It needs an exact amount. And here's a quote from Earl Nightingale, who, I'm not really sure who this was, but Bob Proctor mentions him quite a lot. We tend to minimize the things we can do, the goals we can reach, and yet for some equally strange reason, we think others can do things we cannot. I mean, what manifestation and what this book ultimately wants the reader to understand is this concept of oneness and one duality, that we are all connected and that we are all part of the universe, and that separation is an illusion. So when we believe ourselves to be different from other people, we think that other people are better than us or that we're better than them, then we're falling into the trap of the illusion. So when we believe that others can do things that we cannot, it's not true. And reality, as we see it with all of our senses, and how we come to understand reality, is not actually reality. I've written here, thinking is not enough. You must move into action. And it's a common misconception in the manifestation world that we can just think and visualize and our dreams will come true. But we also have to take action. It's quite obvious that we have to take action. And the action that we need to take in this chapter is defining and deciding how much money is enough. So what do I want money for? What activities and what things things do I want to spend money on over the course of the year? So yeah, how much is enough? So in the chapter, the reader is encouraged to list activities that you plan to spend money on over the course of the next year. He does give some examples of categories. So food. I can show it like this. Food, rent, mortgage, clothes, automobile, utilities, education, vacations, recreation, insurance, and savings. And I actually went on to create some of my own to fit my life a bit better. So I added the categories of savings, short term, so savings for like less than a year, and I'm thinking that's for going on holidays. Then I have like long-term savings that are my savings that I'm not gonna touch for the next 5 years. What else did I I made actually quite a lot more categories to help me reach the amount of money that is gonna help me live like my best life. And I can just say that it's a lot more than I'm currently making. A lot more, and it's not an impossible amount. Really, it isn't. But I've never made that amount in a month before. So it excites me. It really does. But one thing that I was really struggling with as I was reading this chapter is that I feel that, well, Bob Proctor talks a lot about, like, what is your dream life? Like, really, like, paint the big picture and don't hold back. And I have a hard time trusting that, you know, these big dreams are going to manifest. I'm stuck on the how, you know, and this is something that you're not supposed to focus on. You're not supposed to focus on the how, you're supposed to focus on the what and the why. But I get stuck on the how, especially when I, you know, came up with this amount that is just so, you know, far removed from my reality. I'm just trying to go with it right now, but I do feel that I would like to maybe work within an amount that is a little bit closer to what I'm currently earning, and just so I can kind of motivate for myself and believe and trust that, just like, you know, let's say that, I mean, okay, we're not all in the same currency, and I don't know dollars, I don't know pounds, I know Swedish crowns. Let's say I'm earning like 45,000 Swedish crowns a month, and I've been earning that for like 6 months. Like, it wouldn't feel completely impossible for me to earn 47,000 Swedish crowns. Like, there's so much I could do. Like, I could, you know, now that I've got this YouTube channel, I could post more frequently, or maybe I could like sell some of my kids' clothes. You know, it's like, it's not impossible to earn 2,000 crowns more. Or maybe I could like renegotiate some of my, I don't know, I don't have that many loans, but some of the deals, like my phone deal or something, like maybe there is a way that I can save 2,000 crowns or just earn 2,000 crowns. And then when I've like reached 47 a month, then I can start working on like 49,000, 50,000, and just raise my income incrementally. I feel that my nervous system accepts that kind of method. And yeah, like, for example, every week I host workshops in a healing modality called Inner Dance, and I usually offer like 8 spots, and sometimes I fill them, sometimes I don't. But let's say that I'm like, okay, so next week I'll offer 9 spots instead of 8. Instead of being like, I'm going to offer 100 spots every week, like I'm gonna have 100 people come to my classes every week. My mind just won't accept that. It's not going to, my conscious mind is not gonna accept that into my subconscious. So I'm trying to find a balance. I don't know if this method that Bob Proctor talks about is for me. I'm not 100% convinced, but I do believe in this method, because there is this thing when people do awaken, when they kind of really cross over to the other side and understand all the laws of the universe and how we can use them in our favor and to our advantage, the people that have fully grasped it. And as I was talking about before, everything's an illusion, basically. When you fully grasp the way the universe works, you understand that there's not that big a difference between 47,000 a month and 100,000 a month when it comes to the entirety of everything. So we set our own limits. If I don't believe that I can make 100,000 crowns a month, I will never be able to make it. If I keep on limiting myself at 49 or 50, then that's going to be my limit. But if I open myself up to 100,000, then I can actually achieve it. I don't know how, but yeah. We're not gonna go down the route of how. Let's see what else this chapter had to offer. Bob writes that I should have the amount I need to provide for the things I want to live the way I choose to live. This is so typical. My neighbors are redoing their house, extending their house, and they just started working. They've been silent the whole of yesterday and the whole morning, and now they just started working just as I was recording this video, so I do apologize. But yeah, we tend to minimize the things we can do, the goals we can reach, and yet for some equally strange reason we think others can do things that we cannot. This is not true. You have deep reservoirs of talent and ability within you, and you can have the things you want. So yeah, we talked about that. You have to be willing to pay the price, and we all have to figure out what the price means for each and every one of us. Let's say with this YouTube channel, part of the price is, of course, all the work that I'm putting in and all the editing and the filming, but it's also the comments. Everybody knows that when you start putting yourself out there on the internet, you're gonna receive some weird comments, hateful comments, and also there's a lot of bots out there messing with the system. I think it's part of the price. I don't think there are any successful people that don't receive hate, maybe not always to their face or in their DMs, but people are gonna start talking behind their backs, and it's part of paying the price. It's also, the price can also be losing friends, or not having your close family understand your new path. That's also paying the price. He writes, there are only 2 ways to earn money: people at work or money at work. Yeah, this chapter really had me thinking about how I can diversify my income. So not only trading my time for money, but are there smarter ways? I actually did increase my savings, my investments, one way, and yeah, I'm back to making videos on YouTube. So like I'm literally making money as I sleep, because some of my older videos are like generating money. Yeah, so just have to have like several different income streams, not only the traditional work as an employee and trade your time for money. There's so many different ways you can actually have your money work for you. He writes a little bit about the Babylonian law of financial success. I found this so interesting because I'm quite a new business owner, and one of the principles of this Babylonian law of financial success is to pay yourself first. And yeah, I don't think I have paid myself anything since I started this business. I'm just kind of reinvesting all the money in my business, and yeah, like buying I bought a new camera, I bought a new computer. I haven't actually paid myself, so this is really something that I need to work out a plan for this. Yeah, like how often do we pay ourselves first? I know that he wrote in the book that like we're so quick to pay our mortgage, pay our bills, pay our car and everything. Like we prioritize paying for all these things, and of course these things are necessary for us because we don't want to have like our electricity shut off or something, but we prioritize paying someone else's business before we like give ourselves the money. So he really does advocate that a part of everything that we earn, 10%, is ours to keep, so that the first thing you should do when you receive your money, salary, monthly salary or whatever, is that 10% goes straight into a savings account. And I really like this. I think I've been saving 10% or slightly more for lots of years. So a smart way of thinking is that what you earn on Monday morning is yours to keep, and this money should go straight into an account that you don't have easy access to. I have like several accounts that I don't have easy access to. It's so funny. Yeah, I've had them for years. I'm a huge saver. Actually, I've always been very good at saving money. I started work when I was like 16. My first job was at McDonald's, just working the weekends, and yeah, I've like always been able to kind of pay for myself. I've always been smart with money. So he also writes that our mortgage payment should be seen as an investment. So I think a lot of like shifting your money mindset can also have to do with just shifting the way that you view the things that are happening. Like I heard Rhonda Byrne, who wrote this, she did the movie The Secret, and like when she was poor, like before she had all her success, when she was paying her bills, she would actually trick herself into believing that she was donating money to the electricity company. So as she was paying her bills, she's like, I'm making a donation, and this donation is going to go to the workers at the electricity company, and it's going to support them, and they're going to be able to buy food and pay their rent and save money for their kids to go to college. So I think I mentioned in my other video, like you kind of have to be delusional when you're manifesting a new life, when you're shifting your life and trying to change your mindset, trying to attract more money. You have to be delusional, so you can like play games in your head. So yeah, one thing, I guess this was kind of, actually this wasn't even that weird, but mortgage payment is an investment. Like that's not even that far-fetched. That's not even very delusional. I think a lot of people already have this mindset, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. I've got lots of like here. So yeah, he says 10% of everything you earn should go on a savings account, and 20% should go to paying off all your debt. So yeah, you're left with 70% of your income to live on. Yeah, I don't think 20% of everything I earn is going to pay off my debts. But yeah, in like 2 months I'll be earning a lot more money, so I'm gonna set up a plan for that too. I don't have a lot of debt. It's basically just my student loan, and the interest rate is really low and good here in Sweden. It would be pretty cool to maybe have paid it off, but yeah, I need to work out the details of that. It could actually be smarter, to save the money on an account with interest instead of paying off that debt. We'll see, I'll work it out. Don't ever think debt again, think investment. So not only when it comes to mortgage, I guess if you've got a loan for your car, you should see it as an investment. So just kind of trick your mind. Here's just, I don't know if Bob wrote this or if I wrote this, just some like affirmations, but I am wealthy, money is good, I use money, and I love people. That's something that he actually wrote in the first chapter. I think that we should always use money and love people, not the other way around. I found this very interesting, what I'm going to talk about. There are 3 distinct categories that people fall into financially. One is the deficit position, so people in debt. 2 is the break-even position, so people that are just getting by but they are debt-free. And then there's a surplus position. And it would be easy to believe that if you fall into category 1 or 2, all one must do is earn more money. But this isn't necessarily true. If a person is in a deficit financial situation, it is because they have a habit of spending more than they earn. If they are in a break-even situation, they have a habit of spending everything they own. Since we are creatures of habit, it follows that earning more money wouldn't solve their financial situations. And I think we all have some kind of experience where we have like overcome something. So maybe like we have been poor and we've received money, or we've been single and we've met a partner, or just like we've had a lack of something and then we've gained it. But still, some of those emotions that we felt prior to gaining the thing are like still there. So I can have this, like, even if I have money, I still feel like I have to be careful with money. It's like definitely a thinking habit and a mindset. So we always have to work on the underlying issues. We can't always just solve our problems by receiving what it is we want. Sometimes the problems are still going to remain, or most of the times they're going to remain actually. It is important to decide a financial plan for how much is enough. That will force you to discipline yourself. So that is the antidote. Really making the budget so that you get out of your old habits. So if you've decided that I am going to spend, I'm always going to have like 70% of my income left to live on, you can't go over that, because your 10% is going into your savings and your 20% is going to pay off your loans. So 70%, you're not going to spend more than 70%, regardless of how much you're earning. So even if you're not earning the current amount that you want to earn, you have to set the new habit now and just maintain it. anything else that kind of stands out. Bob Proctor has a lot of examples of people that he knows or people that he has helped throughout the whole book. Let me see. And I don't want to read straight out of the book because there probably are some like copyright issues if I do that. But like I said, this chapter is just very, very practical. It's very short as well. But okay, he finishes the chapter by stating 3 steps to establish the habit of financial success. 1. Decide how much money is enough to fund your dreams. 2. Design a new financial plan or have one designed for you by an expert. And 3. Don't deviate from that plan for 2 months until the plan becomes a habit. Yeah, I'm thinking this chapter maybe wasn't like the most fun to read, or maybe even to talk about now. I just hope this has been relaxing. Let me see if there's anything fun that I could just read for you right now. Kind of paraphrase. I mean, some of the things are a bit like outdated. He writes that we should like draw up a list of our creditors and start writing letters to them. And he gives an example of a sample letter stating like how much you'll be paying them. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I would do that. Yeah, this chapter was actually very short. I think I should start promoting the next chapter, which was a lot more fun. And I'm gonna film that video later this week. And chapter 3 is called The Image Maker. So it's all about building the image of who you want to be and how important it is. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate your